Hi guys, this is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much. This is the monthly tarot forecast for the sign of Virgo. So those with Sun, Moon, or Rising in the sign of Virgo, please feel free to watch this video. If it makes sense, great, utilize it. If it doesn't, that's okay. It doesn't mean anything's wrong. If you have heavily placed planets in Virgo, you can also feel free to watch this. It may give you an indication of what type of a May you might have. If you're cross-watching for Virgo, that's completely fine too. Feel free to do that. What else? I can't even think of my spiel. I'm so tired. I've been up since way too early this morning. All right, so let's see. Let's just get into this. It is Taurus season. And I'm trying to get the earth signs done. This first card is the signifier for the month. So it kind of gives us a theme possibly, or guidance as to something we might want to reflect upon in the month of May. Let's see what my Virgos have. So this is waning crescent number 3, card number 26, which would be an 8. And it's called Surrender. What I love about this, I don't know how well you guys can see this, but do you see the peace on this woman's face? She looks like she's sort of, I mean, when I think of the word surrender, I think about where is it that we can find peace in letting go this month for Virgo. And the reason why I think about peace is because an 8 would bring about that idea of balance. And I believe waning means when the moon is falling away, right? So ideally, we want to find balance and peace in letting go, in connecting to maybe our higher self and our higher knowing, what our heart may say versus what our head may say, and allow ourselves to sort of ease into that and allow that to take us over, and allow that to kind of take us through the month. So if there's something that's been maybe bothering you or I don't know, eating away at you, giving you a hard time, something you've been struggling with, maybe now is the time to kind of let that go this month. And in May, not in April, but in May, sort of come to terms with it or your relationship to it, and then allow yourself the freedom of this sort of idea of surrender, listening to sort of maybe your higher self and that knowledge and finding a peace in that. So let's see what's going on with your cards. So this first card is the center. This is where my Virgos are going to be centered at throughout the month. You'll go in and out of this card throughout the month. It won't be the entirety of the month, but it gives me an indication of not only where you're at, but what you could potentially be creating for the future. So this is the card of Pisces. This is the Hanged Man. This is actually the opposite sign of Virgo, but I don't think that this is a bad thing. This is sort of, I forget the astrological name for it. Virgo and Pisces. Virgo is the 6th sign. Pisces is the 12th. What I find interesting here is we have this idea of surrender, and then we have this idea as the center of the Hanged Man. So it makes me think that the Virgos may be a little bit feeling stuck right now, but I also think that there's an opportunity here for you guys to learn something pretty profound, or it's going to bring some sort of a definite spiritual awakening or awareness to you. It will be impactful, it will be important, and it will be for your benefit ultimately. If it feels like a struggle right now leading into May and during May, that's okay. That's sometimes how the Hangman can portray itself, is be feeling a little bit stuck, a little bit bored, a little bit like, God, I want to get out of here, or I wish this was different. But ideally, you have to sort of hang there until you kind of come into the awareness that you need, that allows you to sort of free yourself from whatever it is that you've got going on. And the surrender card indicates that you will get free. You will find that peace. You will find that opportunity to connect to your higher self, because we see it here on her face with this light around her face. You will find that answer. That's sort of also indicative of the Hanged Man, is that there's always through spiritual enlightenment, through waiting there for everything that you need, you'll end up opening up and becoming aware of whatever it was that you needed so that you could move forward. And it will be impactful and it will be important information, because this is the a major arcana card as your center this month. So this could be a significant month. We'll see what the other cards are about. I do like that it is Pisces, which is your complementary sort of counterpart sign. You might be learning some things in the more emotional, psychic, spiritual realms too, with this card being your center this month. That might feel a little bit uncomfortable. But again, if you surrender to it, trust it, and allow yourself to slide into that balance with it, you could actually end up with this really cool sort of awareness by the end of this and feel free again. So let's look at the foundation card. This is the card from the past that indicates sort of where you've been and what basically this card represents a period from the past that is potentially driving everything into the future, or it's the memory of this card that holds everything in place. Everything is built upon this card. So this is the 10 of Cups. So this is a beautiful card, right? We've got a lot of, like, a little bit of water energy going on with the Piscean energy of the Hanged Man and then the 10 of Cups in the foundation. So I'm going to talk about like emotions here with my Virgos, which I'm not saying that Virgos aren't emotional people, but I think that probably if you had your own choices, you would probably not want to get too much up into your emotions. This speaks to the time where things were good. Everything felt in line. Emotionally, things were abundant. Things felt like they were pouring forth and they were brilliant. And you might have even felt blessed, right? Like everything was just right on the money, couldn't be better. We felt secure, happy, all of that stuff. Right now, with that Hanged Man in the center, we may not feel that. Our world might be turned upside down a little bit. We might feel stuck, stagnant, not able to move forward. And something, there might be an issue where we're comparing our then to our now, right? And that might also be making the stuck feeling of the Hangman all that more uncomfortable for us, whatever we've got going on, right? But what I do want to say is this 10 of Cups being in your foundation space, Virgo, is it says that we're being driven by the abundance of the emotions, by the well-being of this 10 of Cups card, right? So essentially, the memory of having been there once is kind of wanting us to get back there. Does that make sense? And that's why we're struggling in the center of where we're at right now in this Hanged Man card. But ideally, the Hanged Man is going to teach us something that may very well bring us back to similar to this situation, the 10 of Cups, or something even better, right? A better awareness, a higher spiritual understanding. We have to surrender to this experience, though. And if we're struggling and fighting and resisting it, we're just going to stay there that much longer, if that makes sense. So the next card is your higher self card, or the spirit card. It tells me what your higher self or spirit wants you to look at and pay attention to during this month. So this is the Lovers card, also major arcana, very significant. The Lovers can indicate a significant relationship, but when this is up in the spirit space, this also kind of indicates a choice that needs to be made of some sort. When I look at the Lovers being up in the spirit space, we might need to sort of find that love for ourselves, find that connection to self. Some of us might have some decisions we need to make around a love relationship or somebody that's important to us. Our spirit may want us to fall in love with those around us, or because when I'm looking at the Lovers above you and the 10 of Cups below you, even though the Lovers is Gemini energy, it's still like about a love story in a way, right? So when I think about the benefit and the optimism of the Lovers, and then the 10 of Cups below, and then we're stuck in the Hanged Man in the middle, it says to me that I feel like Spirit is saying, just calm down, be okay, surrender and relax to everything that's going on. Don't just be in the moment, be where you are. If it feels uncomfortable, that's okay. It'll all make sense in the end, if that makes any sense at all. And like, don't struggle against it. Kind of enjoy the ride as it's happening, or try and make the most of where it is that you are, is sort of the feeling that I'm getting, because those are two really, in my opinion, the Lovers and Ten of Cups are not bad cards to have surrounding you. The focus is to find optimism or appreciation in whatever it is that you're dealing with, is my feeling when I'm looking at these cards. So the next two, exactly, go with the flow, Vicky, go with the flow. The next two cards are the outside influences. These are telling me, these indicate influences that could be affecting you during the month of May, either positively or negatively. They can be things like people, belief systems, sometimes things like energies and or events. So let's see what they are. So one is the Three of Swords. So this would be about past heartache, pain, thoughts of sadness. This could be memories that could be haunting us a little bit, especially with the Ten of Cups below us and the Lovers up above us. We could be struggling with feeling stuck, trapped, or not able to be in something. Hold on. Okay, let me look at the other one really quick. Hold on. And we have the Strength card. Okay. So I do feel like this has to do with relationships for my Virgos this month, partly because we see this Ten of Cups down here in the past. We see this Three of Swords here, and we have the Lovers up above. Now, each Virgo might have a different relationship that's going on, right? Some of you, this could be your relationship to your mother. Some of you, this could be your relationship to your boss. Some of you, this could be, a love relationship. In some way, you're feeling stuck, not moving forward. You're uncomfortable. That's the Hanged Man in the center. The Three of Swords indicates like thoughts that are gloomy, painful, and they could be from previous relationships. They could be from this relationship that you might be missing or reflecting upon here in this Ten of Cups. But ideally, I do think that you will get to someplace better. When I look at the other outside influence, it's the Strength card, and that's Leo energy. But it's an opportunity to sort of also learn something through being strong, whatever that means for you, right? And there's opportunities here in this month to exert that strength, grow that muscle in a way, act on that strength as you move through it. Just trying to it's interesting to me because that Three of Swords is really drawing my attention. I don't know why. Like, I don't know. When I look at everything going on, let me show you. Like, everything that's going on here, here, and here, and this Strength card, these are all really, actually, in my opinion, good cards. Even the Hanged Man, although it's a little bit frustrating, it's not the worst card in the deck at all. It comes with a really great opportunity to learn about something spiritually, right? The Lovers is not bad up there in the spirit space. It's about connecting to that higher love, that connection to how we feel about others or ourselves, and honoring that and being true to that. And it's being driven by this Ten of Cups, which is really beautiful, even though it's something that we maybe don't feel like we have right now. And when I look at this Strength card, this is something that it's like, to me, the universe is telling us, okay, Virgo, you can be strong. You can do this. You can get through this. You're going to learn how to handle this. But this Three of Swords feels like it's really kind of blocking. And the funny thing is this Three of Swords is not even that strong of a card ultimately. But to me, it feels like this is all of what Virgo can focus on or see. And maybe we need to let go of some of these outdated thoughts, pains of the past, misery, because that might be what's holding us or keeping us stuck where we're at. And that's sort of what our spirit is saying. No, connect to that love. Don't connect to the misery. Don't keep putting don't continue to put your own swords from your mind through your heart and through the love that you should be exuding. Give it to the people that matter. Give it to those that deserve it, give it to those that return it, right? Versus not, right? Versus like sort of shutting it off and dwelling in the misery and the sadness. And I kind of get a feeling that this could be a little bit like jumping in your path in the month of May, right? Where it wants to grab your attention, Virgo, and it wants to, and that might be where you're stuck, because you want to move forward, but you can't, because it's sort of like you're judging your now by your past, when it was all emotionally abundant and good and well and all of that. And what your spirit wants you to realize is that even right now, you can still be in that state of the lovers. You can still be, but you just have to sort of choose it, right? And it may not be that you're with that person or everything's okay with that person, but you can be okay this month if you surrender to things the way that they are and kind of allow yourself, however that looks for you, wherever that gives you ease and peace and balance, right? And for some of you, it's going to be hard, is the feeling that I get, because that strength card's there. The strength card isn't beneficial, but it feels like you guys might have to grow a little bit in this process, certainly through that Hanged Man card. But you will, ideally, right? And the growth will be worth it in the end. It just may not feel like it right now. Now, this next card is the potential outcomes. This card tells me sort of where things could potentially end up, barring that nothing major changes. So if you don't like this card, or if it's a negative card, you can use it as a warning and make choices and changes in your life to affect the outcome. But if it's a good card, we can take heart in the fact that we're naturally heading towards it. Oh, I'll take it. So this is the Sun card. So this is like a new dawn, a new day, right? There's something coming for you guys. There's some sort of awareness, some sort of wake-up call that and I don't mean wake-up call in a bad way. I mean, like, because we see the Sun represented, not only we see the Strength card, right, which is Leo, but the Sun is also Leo. We have the Sun up here in the Lovers too. So something's being illuminated, and there's also the illumination that needs to come from the Hanged Man, right? That struggle that we might be in throughout a little bit of the month of May. Allow that struggle to take place. Be appreciative of that struggle. Surrender to it and learn from it. There's something very significant in this month for my Virgos. The sun will shine on it at the end of the month, and you will feel renewed by the month's end going into June. You will feel inspired, optimistic, energized. You won't feel stuck. You should feel optimistic and positive by the month's end, and probably pretty powerful by month's end too. And I kind of get that feeling that that sun is sort of shining on new opportunities or new pathways in your life, right? And so just be open to them and let them happen. But we may have to let go of some of the pain or the sadness of the past and stay focused on that love that's within us, even if it's only just for ourselves at this time. But keep that as your focus and as your center, and allow that to sort of move you through this month. You will grow, you will become sort of stronger and more aware and all of that sort of stuff. But you'll also, you'll have some significant changes, I think, by month's end, and some awarenesses or some opportunities. I don't know why, but I feel like that sun is shining at the end of the month, like showing us some things that we didn't necessarily see. We couldn't see it, like from that Hanged Man position. Does that make sense? But we will. You'll be able to see it by month's end. There will be a clarity there, and it will be a good and positive clarity. I love when the flies fly through the video. It's so gross. When it gets hot here, there's like flies everywhere. It's disgusting. And the minute I open the back door, they fly in the house. It's so gross. It's like Mike Pence's debate speech. All right, you guys, that is your forecast for May. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, it's a broad forecast, so just utilize what you need out of it and leave the rest. Whatever you do this May, surrender to it and just be at peace with it. That's the best thing that I can kind of explain here. Try not to get too caught up in your mind and your thoughts and judgments about, you know, yourself or others, and let yourself find that freedom that you seek. All right. I love you all. Have a great May, and I will see you next month. Bye bye.